Hello, Scorpio. This is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts with your bonus reading for the second half of June. I hope you guys are doing well, and thank you so much for tuning in. This is going to be focusing on the divine feminine and the divine masculine and how the connection is affecting both individuals. It is general as always, guys. It will not resonate with every single person. So please do take from this reading whatever makes sense for your situation and release what doesn't. If you are interested in your own personal private reading, all of that information is down below in the description box, and I will include a link to all of the card decks that you see here. And so we're going to start off with the divine feminine, and I do tend to refer to the feminine as a she and her, but I do understand it's just energy. It can be for male or female. Take it for how it resonates throughout this reading, as well as the divine masculine portion of this reading. I'm going to timestamp these, and you can watch either both the divine feminine and divine masculine, or whoever it is that you're focused on for this reading. You can just pick and choose what side you are wanting to watch at this time. All right, guys, so let's dive right into this, starting off with the divine feminine. This is by Flames of Alchemy, the divine feminine energy oracle cards deck. All right, Scorpio, so let's take a look and see how this is affecting the divine feminine when it comes to this connection. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Scorpio, for this bonus reading for the second half of June, when it comes to the divine feminine, what is going on with the feminine and how is it affecting the feminine when it comes to this connection with the masculine? All right, so what do we have? We've got passionate adventure. Certainly the connection between the feminine and the masculine, very passionate. But right now we do have this solitude energy, which is very similar to the hermit energy in traditional tarot, which could also be picking up off of Virgo for some of you. We have this self-absorbed energy coming through from the feminines as well. We also have numbing coming through here, followed by divine partnership, and then we've got manipulation after that. So since we do have the solitude card presenting itself here, some of my feminines could certainly be alone at this time and not with the masculine, just focusing on herself. But there's also this numbing energy, especially if, somebody might have a drinking problem, just numbing those feelings, numbing the heart space, the emotions, not wanting to feel, especially pain or heartbreak attached to what's happened here between the feminine and masculine. We could also be dealing with a masculine who's being very manipulative with the feminine. So we'll take a look at that with some tarot to see how this is going to be clarified here. So let's start things off with the Psychic Tarot. This is by John Holland. So angels and spirit guides, please, for Scorpio, focusing on the divine feminine and how the feminine is affected by this connection with the masculine, challenges, or even triumphs, the good, the bad, and in between. What's going on here? Angels and spirit guides, please, focusing on divine feminine energy. We've got temptation, which is representing the devil's energy here. That's Capricorn. So some of you guys might be dealing with a Capricorn here. This is bondage. This is restriction. There's this trapped energy attached to this. My masculines could also be dealing with some sort of addictive behavior or even obsessive behavior, and that's affecting the feminine. Now, for some of you who are watching for a feminine, it could actually be the divine feminine who's got this addictive behavior or is dealing with temptations in her own life. part of these temptations could be certainly towards the masculine, but it could also be towards other people, because it can occasionally represent third-party situations as well. And when the Devil card presents itself, this is a relationship that has gone wrong. This is a relationship that has gone into separation. And either my feminine is still wanting the masculine, knowing that the masculine has been lost and that this is a relationship that's not together at this time, because we do have this solitude energy. But the love, the desire to bring this back together is certainly reflected in this card. So it depends, who it is that you're watching for. Some of my feminines actually watch for themselves to see how this is actually going to play out, how it's affecting the feminine and the overall scheme of things here. We do have the crown chakra coming forward. Whenever my chakras come forward during a reading, I do pick up off of imbalances there, which could certainly be the case here for the feminine. This taps into the words I know and the color violet. This is the link to the universe, your higher consciousness, the connection between wisdom and spiritual insight, that ethereal light and energy received and dispersed throughout a person's aura for their total well-being. And I feel it's coming through here, especially right next to that devil energy that's being challenged right now. That's challenging the feminine right now, which is keeping her out of balance, I feel. We've got the Eight of Wands coming up after that, accelerated motion. So this is fire energy. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius for some of you. The Eight of Wands, it is coming through with good energy. For me, it represents the arrows of love here. And there's definitely interest from the feminine to the masculine. But right now, we've got alone time that's going on here with the energy of that solitude card, which again for me is very hermit-like. So my feminines are not with the masculine, just really trying to follow her heart, looking within for answers. Feeling very lonely though. It's somebody who wants to be left alone perhaps, but also feeling very lonely. And I feel that's the space that the feminine is occupying at this time. Remembering those passionate moments with the masculine, certainly, and feeling like this is a divine partnership. But something went wrong here due to addictions, due to temptations, due to manipulations that were happening in the partnership. So right now you guys are just taking a break. We've got the Four of Swords coming through here. This is rest and rejuvenate. For me, it's a card of taking a break. Recuperation time, a resting period. So there's not a whole lot going on here because I really feel my feminines are just focusing within. And sometimes the self-absorbed card could be a little bit negative for the feminines, but in this instance, I just really feel that it's needed, especially if you were dealing with a masculine who was just not able to deliver what it was that the feminine was needing. So this is a time for my feminines to really focus on themselves. To put yourself first on your priority list, feminines. Because what I'm picking up here is you might have been dealing with a masculine who put themselves first. So it's your turn. We do have this balance card coming forward. This is the Justice card in traditional tarot. This is all about truth and integrity. This could have also been a relationship that was very intellectually and emotionally stimulating for both of you. That is what I'm picking up from that. This is also Libra energy specifically. So there's this need for honesty. There's this need to face the truth, to be able to see things from their perspective as well as your own, feminines. So there's this need to see things from the masculine's point of view. And there's this need for the masculine to see things from the feminine's point of view. That balanced energy to restore the harmony in a partnership. And the Justice card is a card about a soul contract between two people. You both have the capability to work on the issues, to resolve the problems that are overwhelming this partnership, but you each have to take responsibility for your own actions. The feminine has to do that, the masculine has to do that. We have the Six of Pentacles coming through as well. So that's Pentacles energy, which is Earth, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. I'm already picking up off of Virgo from the Solitude energy, Hermit. This is material and spiritual prosperity right here. What I pick up from that too, because it's a card about giving and receiving, and I feel if that was an issue, if there was an out of balance energy in that area, then that created this out of balance vibe between the feminine and the masculine. And in order to restore this balance, you both have to be giving to each other. It can't be a situation where one person is constantly giving and the other is constantly taking. So for my feminines, what I'm feeling here perhaps is you were just giving too much of yourself to the masculine and it was not being reciprocated, which brought it out of balance. But my feminines, you're coming through as the Empress here. Fertility in this deck. This is manifestation of growth in your own life and certainly in regards to the situation with your masculine. Some of you could have had children with your masculine. This does represent a mother figure here. This is beauty, that very nurturing energy. And then we've got the Nine of Cups right after that. Fulfillment of wishes. So we've got water energy coming through here. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, which of course that's your own energy. Just overall water energy from that. So Scorpio, especially if you're feminine tuning in and you are a Scorpio, your wish can still come true when it comes to your connection with your masculine. And you're also, feminines, coming through with this energy of the High Priestess. This is the need to pay attention to your gut, to your intuition at this time. You know, because sometimes on the surface, it just looks like something that's unmanageable, if I can speak seriously. But beneath the surface, if you can truly take advantage of this solitude energy from the Hermit and combine that with the energy of the High Priestess, it's very calming because it really helps you to figure things out for yourself. It kind of really gets rid of all of the chaos and it just helps you to see things clearer, to be able to figure things out internally in order for you to actually manifest that in reality. So trust your gut, trust your intuition at this time. And my High Priestess is a card of inaction, so there's not a whole lot going on here, which we already know because we've got the Four of Swords coming through as well. Okay, so let's set these guys aside and let's continue here, focusing on the Divine Feminine. I'm going to grab the Moody Moon Messages deck. This is by one of my soul sisters, Sister Moon Tarot. So we're honoring the cycle of the Divine Feminine here with this deck. So let's add to this, Scorpio. Let's continue to take a look at the Divine Feminine and how all of this is affecting my feminines here Angels and spirit guides, please, for Scorpio for this bonus reading, focusing on the divine feminine and how the divine feminine is affected by this connection still. We've got bright, high vibrational, clear, and joyful. I love that. So, my feminines, I feel if you are in solitude, if you are numbing yourselves right now, if you're just not in a place to create any sort of action, which I feel it's actually a good thing because you got to work on yourself for now. Eventually, this is where you're headed. Just that high vibrational energy to be able to see things clearly and to find happiness in your life and in your heart space again, especially when it comes to the masculine. I mean, you do have the capability of fulfilling your wishes still, and you are in a seat of power here. You're coming through as the Empress as well as the High Priestess. Both very powerful cards in tarot. And then we have the PMS card, completely immersed in my yin energy. So some of you guys might actually be able to relate to that. We also have a card of surrender. I let go and trust the universe. And I do feel for some of you, that's where you're at. You're just kind of turning it over to the universe and allowing the universe to work on your behalf. Truly, you just put it out there. And sometimes that's the best course of action. You know, go within and fix yourself internally. But on the other side of that, you know, you're just handing it over to the universe to help you out as well. So I love that. We also have horny. If you guys can relate to that, pleasuring myself is still not enough. You know, that's because the passion, those intimate moments are with the masculine. And that's unlike anything else you've ever felt, I feel, especially in regard to intimate moments that you've shared with your masculine. No one else has been able to pleasure you in that way, just this masculine. That's why it's coming up short. It's just not enough. Look at this next card. We've got intuitive. You see, it's picking up off of the energy of the High Priestess. I can feel your energy even though you aren't here. So you're both really tapped into each other's vibes, even from a distance. Certainly my feminines are, but I'm kind of feeling that my masculines are also feeling it intuitively. So there's this 5D interaction still between the feminine and masculine. And then we've got easy breezy here, going with the flow. I do love that because you are not hindering your progress when it comes to this, as well as your life. It's applied to your love life, but you know, this is going way beyond just your love life. I feel when it comes to your life in general, feminines, you're just going with the flow of where life is taking you, which is a good thing. Okay, so let's add to this, guys, with some romance angels messages. And then we'll grab some dialogue messages for our feminines here. All right, so let's grab some romance angels. Angels and spirit guides, please, for this Scorpio bonus reading for the second half of the month. For the divine feminine, how is it impacting my feminines when it comes to this love connection? There's that passion, passionate adventure that can only come from the masculine. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. And I'm not surprised to see this chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. We also have free yourself, and I do feel some of you have done this. This card does say it's time to take back control of your life. And I feel for my feminines, that's exactly what you've done. You weren't going to be putting up with a manipulative masculine who was not treating you right. You know, you might have really put your foot down and just told yourself, it's like, enough is enough. I got to put myself first. I mean, I do feel you're still going through that healing journey though, because it hurt you to be in separation from your masculine, but you put yourself first, which is crucial in your healing to bring you back into balance. It's needed. We have children here, so that I did pick up off of that from the Empress card. I do feel for some of you that you already have children together. And they as well are being affected by the separation, by the challenges that your relationship is going through. And I love this, let go of control issues, which is very complementary to this surrender card. You just got to let it ride, just let it go. Allow the universe to truly work on your behalf. That's what's coming forward from that. Okay, so last deck for the Divine Feminines is my self-created one. This is the Woman's Intuition Oracle. So let's grab some dialogue from my feminines to the masculine. Take what resonates as always. We'll grab a few from here. Angels and spirit guides for Scorpio for this bonus reading. What does the feminine need to say to the masculine at this time? Let's grab this bottom card. All right, what do we have? Look at that. I love you. The love from the feminine is still coming through here, guys. Definitely still coming through. Next message. You trigger me in ways no other man ever has. And it's true. I'm sure some of you guys can relate to this. Look at this one. Cupid's fucking arrow missed. That's how some of you guys are feeling. It's like, I'm not putting up with somebody who's cheated on me, who's hurt me, who stabbed me in the back, who betrayed me. All of the horrible things that a masculine could have done to the feminine. There's so many of you watching this. So if this applies to you, certainly this is a part of how you're feeling. That what you thought was your love of a lifetime ended up not being the case, which is why you're focused on yourself. You're putting yourself on that priority list for you. So some of you guys definitely dealt with a situation where it hurt you. It broke your heart beyond measure. And this is how you're feeling, and you might still be really upset and angry, and that's okay. You got to honor that. And for some of you, no regrets. It happened. It is what it is. But you still have no regrets over having met this masculine, having had the experience of being with them. There are no regrets. Next message. You and me, we're not perfect, but we're perfect together. Okay, so for those of you who feel this way, you already know this. You didn't need this reading to tell you that. That's where this passion and chemistry is coming in, that passionate adventure that you have had with this person. And it's true, this has certainly been far from perfect as far as a relationship goes, but you guys just make sense together. And there is still the opportunity to bring this back into balance for your wish to come true, feminines. But during this time, pay attention to what your intuition truly is trying to communicate to you. Last one. I feel you pulling away from me. So for some of my feminines, there is a masculine who is pulling away. And sometimes part of the reason why that is because they feel you, my feminines, pulling away from them. So it's like that tug of war that's going on energetically, I feel, for some of you guys. So this is what's coming through for my feminine. So let's take a look now at the divine masculine and how this situation is affecting our masculines here. Okay, so you're welcome to continue watching unless you just wanted to watch the feminine portion of this reading. So let's continue, guys, and let's go ahead and see what needs to come through here for our masculines, okay? So let me clear this out and we'll dive right into it. All right, so we're going to pull from the Divine Masculine Energy Oracle cards deck by Flames of Alchemy. Angels and Spirit Guides for Scorpio for this bonus reading, second half of June. When it comes to the Divine Masculine, how is this connection affecting the masculine? And, you know, it doesn't always have to tie in together, although it could, as far as storylines are concerned. So let's take a look and see if that is the case, or if it's just two totally separate scenarios that are coming through here. Angels and Spirit Guides, please, focusing on the Divine Masculine. How is the masculine affected by this connection? First card is compassion. That's what's in the masculine's heart space. And we also have freedom. Look at this. And this is the next card. We have trapped, followed by discern. So what I'm picking up from this is my masculines could have decided that they needed to get out. They needed to free themselves from a situation where they felt trapped. That's a part of this discernment, that realization of what they were no longer going to be putting up with. This is somebody who's detaching and just wanting their freedom. So there could have been some sort of toxic energy that was attached to the masculine that he felt the need to free himself from. Look at this. We've got a twin flame card coming through, followed by masculine shadow. So if I have a masculine here who is in need of shadow work that might be preventing some sort of progress happening here in this twin flame connection with the feminine. And look at this. We've got the codependency card coming through, which is very much a part of that devil vibe that came through for the feminine. So for some of you, this storyline is kind of feeding off of each other. And look at this. We've got manipulate. We ended up getting a very similar energy from the feminine reading. Codependency, addictive type behavior, even obsessive behavior. And when it came to the masculine, my feminines were dealing with somebody who was being manipulative, and perhaps this is my masculine admitting that he was being manipulative. And part of the behavior here stems from the lack of doing that shadow work, which is what's keeping my masculines in the shadows and preventing any sort of movement here when it comes to this twin flame connection with the feminine. So we're going to have to clarify this with some tarot to see what this is all about. This is the Pining Rose Tarot by my dear friend Amy of Calico Moon. So let's add to this, Scorpio, and let's take a look and see what else. What's going on? Angels and Spirit Guides for Scorpio for the Divine Masculine here. We have the Two of Wands. Fire. Decisions, discovery, goals, progress. Fire energy right there. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. And then we have the Four of Cups, which is a missed opportunity. Boredom, revelation, indifference. So we've got fire and water right next to each other, if that's of significance to any of you. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, here you are in that Four of Cups energy. So if you are watching for a masculine, of course, and if our masculine felt the need to detach and just go his way with that freedom card, especially if he was feeling trapped in a situation, in a relationship, especially since it's coming through as a twin flame connection here. But if my masculine is in the shadow, he could have totally failed to realize how special a bond this actually is or was. You know, that maybe things were just going too good, if that's even possible. And maybe that was just not exciting enough for the masculine, and he was bored with that. And just wanted to see what else was out there. You know, the whole grass is greener mentality. Because this Two of Wands is somebody also who tends to want to leave. Especially if, for those of you that relate to this, if you guys were living together, if you shared a home together, this is a masculine who decided maybe to move out, to discover something else that he felt was lacking in the partnership. When in fact, it could just be the masculine who was keeping himself trapped in his own mentality, that there was something missing, when really he had everything that he needed at home with the feminine, but still felt the need to go out there and explore, and just got himself involved in situations perhaps that were toxic, that were not good, that were codependent. Wow, we've got the Seven of Pentacles right after that. So we've got all sorts of signs coming through here. We've got Earth energy now. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. And we definitely had Virgo representation with the feminines. So this is investment, hard work, paying off, and growth. So with the Seven of Pentacles, I do feel that this is one of those situations where we got to just wait and see how this goes, to see if it really will pay off. If our masculine is able to do the shadow work, to heal himself from these toxic behaviors. And if our masculine is self-sabotaging his progress in his own life, certainly in his love life, and the connection with the feminine, that's totally possible. And some of my masculines could be coming through as this Page of Pentacles. More earth energy here. This is a young person with good news, a financial opportunity, laying the foundations. The Page of Pentacles is somebody who focuses on the good and the bad parts of a love connection. So this is somebody who tries to weigh things up just to be able to see what's good about this relationship, what's not so good about this relationship. And maybe when it came time to evaluating things, part of this discern energy is that he realized he needed to be out there exploring. That's what I'm picking up for some of you guys. And here we are with the Empress again. So the Empress making an appearance for both the feminine side as well as the divine masculine side of this reading. And again, I'm going to say, you know, some of you had families, some of you had children, some of you could have even blended your families together if you had children from previous relationships, because the Empress represents the divine feminine in this masculine reading. This is a mother figure right here. This is somebody who's very nurturing. But we've got the Queen of Swords here coming through also, an independent woman with good communication, clear boundaries, and unbiased judgment. So, my masculines, if you're focused on an air sign, here she is. What I'm picking up to for some of my feminines watching for a masculine, if you know, and only if this resonates with your storyline, if you know that your masculine was stepping out on the relationship, talking to other people, You could have certainly cut the masculine out of your life. You set those boundaries. You made it known. It's like, look, I'm not going to be putting up with no bullshit. I'm going to cut you out if you don't stop, you know? And that could have certainly contributed to keeping this masculine in the shadows too. And maybe part of what he did find out there wasn't matching up to what he had with the feminine. So he might find that he was caught between a rock and a hard place, feeling that trapped energy. It's like, what do I do now? I messed up, but I'm maybe too embarrassed to admit that I messed up. And that we had this beautiful relationship, and it is a twin flame connection. But instead of doing the right thing, what I'm picking up for my masculines is that they just entered into more situations that were toxic and just were not good. We've got the Nine of Swords. Anxiety, insomnia, nightmares, and fears. That's where my masculines are. Losing sleep over this. There's that fear, you know, it's like afraid to reach out to the feminine, afraid of rejection maybe. Seriously, this is tapped into some deep, heavy stuff. Depression, anxiety, despair. That hopeless feeling. Having gone through something traumatic, which is what's keeping the masculine up late at night. But this is self-inflicted, I feel. We do have the Three of Pentacles, though. So if the masculine is able to work with the feminine here, then yeah, there's a chance that this can be a relationship that can be saved, that can be worked through. But this is no accident. Look, here we are again with that devil energy. So I really do feel for those of you resonating with this reading in particular, that there's this devil energy attached to the relationship that needs to be addressed. I mean, this is no accident. We've got codependency here, and then we've got the devil energy, which also appeared in the feminine's reading. Somebody's got addictions here that needs to be addressed truly. And the devil energy tapped into temptation, again, attachments, lust. It's all just toxic. It's not a good energy. And that is where my masculines are, and that's what's contributing to why our masculine is in the shadow. And only the masculine can get himself out of that shadow. The feminine can't do anything to get the masculine out of that shadow. He's going to have to do the work to make that happen. Okay, so let's add to this with the Masculine's Madness deck. This is by Bridget Rao of Divine Essentials. So let's see what else, Scorpio, for this bonus reading for the second half of June, focusing on divine masculine energy here. What else? I'm ashamed of what I've said. Gossip. So this is our masculine coming through. Ashamed of what he said, creating some sort of gossip attached to the feminine. And there are some major regrets going on here when it comes to our masculine. I regretted it the second I saw pain in your eyes. Yeah. That's why we've got this Nine of Swords. It's like, oh shit, what have I done? Regrets over actions that the masculine has taken, which again is contributing to that masculine shadow. And I feel really that these shadows, these addictions, temptations, dark energies, anxieties, depression that are surrounding the masculine, that's what's keeping his hands tied. preventing him from making any sort of movement or even communication with the feminine. And only the masculine can remove these ties. Look at this. Mind-altered state. I just want to escape. Freedom. So I do feel for some of you, this is exactly where the masculine was energetically. Feeling trapped, what do? You want to run. You want to escape. You want to break free. But I do feel the moment my masculine ran and got that freedom, there was that regret, almost instant regret. It's like, what did I just do? What exactly am I running away from? This beautiful connection, a twin flame bond, the love of my life. Like, what the hell am I doing? You know, that's kind of what I'm picking up from this masculine energy that's presenting itself here. And my feminines weren't going to be putting up with this nonsense either. It's like, okay, well, you want to, you know, head out the door and you want your freedom? Okay, well, let me open the door for you and let me cut you out of my life. Because I'm coming towards you as the Queen of Swords here. I'm the Empress and the Queen of Swords. And these two feminine energies right next to each other, for some of you, could also represent third-party situations here. Two feminines vying for the masculine's energy and attention. Next message. I know I'm running out of time. Impatience. Yeah, because there's that particular window of opportunity to create some sort of movement, some sort of decision when it comes to this relationship with the feminine, because the feminine isn't going to be sitting there doing nothing. And I really do feel that my masculines might also be feeling pressured in that way. And which is what could also result in this missed opportunity of the Four of Cups. So, you know, it's like my masculine's so busy running away, running towards nothing substantial. And there is this sense that he is running out of time. Let's grab a couple more. We've got hostile. There's so much anger inside me. So for some of you, your masculine could have a temper, might have some anger issues that needs to be addressed. That's also contributing to that shadow energy. The masculine could have also had some heated arguments with the feminine. There's some sort of hostility that's attached to some of my masculines here, which is contributing as well to this devil energy and the Nine of Swords energy. Lastly, I miss your warmth. So my feminines could certainly be giving my masculines that cold shoulder. And he knows it and he feels it. What once was so warm and loving and caring and compassionate and just a perfect blend of two people sharing their lives together is now coming forward as a cold shoulder. Wow. So let's add to this, guys. This is by my soul sister, Sister Moon Tarot. And this is called the Romantic Confessions from the Divine Masculine deck. So let's add to this. This has some dialogue in it from the masculine. From the masculine to the feminine. What are these confessions from our masculine here? What is it from the masculine? Yeah, wow. Sometimes when I'm with her, I find myself wishing I was with you. See, there's some sort of third party situation here for some of you guys. That doesn't apply to everybody, of course, but it is presenting itself here. Next one. I want to talk to you, but I can't find the right words to say. Well, the divine masculine has a window of opportunity to find those words. But, you know, he is running out of time, I feel. He knows it. The feminine knows it. And that could also be contributing to why he's so anxious and losing sleep over this. It's like staying up late at night just trying to find the right words. Next message. There is something about how only your energy can calm me down. Interesting, considering our masculine is coming through with so much anger and hostility, and yet only the divine feminine can calm that anger and energy down. And I'm feeling too, unfortunately, that some of my feminines were on the receiving end of that anger and hostility from the masculine, and it just was not deserved, you know? And so I feel for some of my feminines, you've decided to detach as a result of those arguments and just angry outbursts from the masculine. Next message. This connection has inspired me in so many ways. And hopefully part of that inspiration is to do this shadow work, that practice of healing all of these toxic behaviors, getting rid of the emotional wounding that's weighing him down. Those blocks, the limiting beliefs, which is certainly attached to codependency and this devil energy. Doing shadow work will address all that and help the masculine. I feel like grabbing a few more here. Let's grab a few more. There we are. I look at your social media pictures often. So my masculines checking out the feminines on social media, and my feminines, maybe you know this, or you guys might still even be friends on social media. And you know that they're still checking you out. Next message. It is because of you that I know what unconditional love is. And I'm feeling that my masculines realize this almost a little bit too late. Detached from this wonderful connection, tried to figure out where it was that they wanted to go next. The grass was greener, the whole bit of trying to find love elsewhere, and it just didn't work. Because the love that they were looking for, as a result of this freedom and just being out there, discovering what else life had to offer, didn't bring the masculine what it was he was looking for. Because you're not going to find something you already had all along. Next message. I secretly hope to run into you whenever I am out and about. So my masculine's really hoping to run into the feminine. And lastly, I am always looking for you in everyone I meet. And so for my masculines who entered into other relationships since leaving the feminine, the divine feminine, you know, it's like you're trying to find something that you already had to begin with, and that search is just going to come up empty. That's what I'm picking up from that. So I wanted to grab some additional dialogue from my self-created deck. This is the Thinking Man Oracle. So let's grab some additional dialogue from here. Still from my masculines to the feminines. So let's see what else, because I feel definitely there's more that needs to be expressed here from the masculine Scorpio to the feminine. Angels and spirit guides, please, for this bonus reading. Do you see that? I love you. And that came forward from our feminines. Remember, my feminine saying, I love you, and the masculine saying, I love you. But look at that little writing beneath it. There, I finally said it. So I really feel my masculines couldn't bring themselves to say it to the feminine before. And now coming through saying it. It's like, I love you. It's like, I finally said it. And maybe this was expressed simply, energetically, and telepathically in the fifth dimension, and that this has not been expressed in real life. But the desire to say it certainly is coming through here. Now look at this next card. I will never find another like you. Right? That's because he's searching for something, something and someone that he already had. You already had the best thing that could have ever happened to you, masculines, and maybe you didn't realize that at the time. I will never find another like you. Let's see what else. Oh my gosh. You'll always be the one that got away. Fuck. It's like, oh shit. I really fucked up. The feminine represents the one. The divine feminine represents the one that got away, and my masculines know it. Next one. Your name is the most perfect word ever. So what I'm picking up from that is, it doesn't matter how long it's been since you guys have seen each other. When this masculine hears the feminine's name, it's like it perks him up. It wakes him up from this anxiety and depression. It's like, did somebody say my person's name? It's like, what, where, what's going on? Where is she? Etc., etc. It still riles him up somehow. Next message. This yearning and pining for you is exhausting. What can I do to fix us? So this is the masculine now saying this to the feminine. What can I do to fix this? What can I do at this point? Next one. You and I, it's time. It's time. Especially since I do feel my masculines are feeling pressured to make a decision here. But this is not a pressure that's coming from the feminine. This is self-imposed pressure that the masculine is putting on himself. It's like, I know I'm running out of time to make this decision. If I don't make this decision to reach out to my feminine, she's going to move on without me. And that results in that missed opportunity of the Four of Cups. All right, last one. It's been sheer hell since you walked out of my life, but I'm never going to let you know that. Okay, so I've got a masculine here, and I really feel this statement comes from a masculine that just really has not done that shadow work. Because my masculines who have done that shadow work will be more than happy to express fully what's in his heart space. It's been sheer hell since you walked out of my life. A masculine who has healed won't be afraid to say it. Okay, so that's what I am picking up, guys, from the divine masculine when it comes to this connection. So there were certain parts of it that definitely tied in together. So hopefully for those of you that this resonated with, that it really helped offer you the insight and clarity when it comes to this connection between the masculine and the feminine. So we're going to close this out with some messages for this journey of love for the two of you. This deck is by Bridget Rao of Divine Essentials, the journey of love. When it comes to your journey of love with your person, whether you are watching for the feminine or the masculine, let's go ahead and take a look at the combined energies of both to see where this is headed moving forward. Angels and spirit guides, please. So take which one of these is most resonating with you. We'll grab a few. Angels and spirit guides for Scorpio, please, for this bonus reading for the divine feminine and masculine. We've got the number 34, speechless. I can't find the right words. Still, you know, so I really feel here for some of you, it might take your person a little bit more time to be able to find the words. Because someday I do feel they'll be able to open up and just tell you how they're feeling. Right now they're coming through with this speechless energy. And 334 breaks down to 7. Number 7 could play a significant role for some of you guys. Next card, I wish. Fresh start. That's what they want, a new beginning. Number 13. This is what they're hoping for. This is what they are wishing for. And remember, my feminines had that 9 of Cups card, which is all about wish fulfillment. So certainly my feminines are really hoping that there can be a new beginning with the masculine. But I ultimately do feel it's a mutual thing. We have the number 15 coming through also. We have grown, but there's also this element of confusion attached to that. And as long as your person is in this confused state, there's not going to be communication. There's more than likely not going to be any sort of movement. So that takes work. That takes that shadow work that needs to be completed from the masculine, especially I'm feeling. But both people really need to have that clarity and that breakthrough so that this confusion can be a thing of the past and you guys can just see things clearly moving forward to help you grow from the experience of what's happened in the partnership. Fix what's broken and move on. We have desire, number 19, I can still taste you. The passion, the intimate moments that the two of you have shared, you're definitely still thinking about it, still remembering those times. Next card, number 40, I can hear you. Telepathic. Yep, I do feel some of you guys are communicating in the 5th dimension. You know, because you can't find the right words in the 3D, but in the 5D, you guys are just having full-on conversations. And the last card, number 39, is destiny. Look at that. I want forever with you. They want to be able to spend their life with you. Yes, there were mistakes that were made here. There are regrets. But again, if two people can collaborate and work as a team, which seems to be a common theme here for a lot of the readings I've done lately, then yeah, absolutely, this is fixable. This is a reversible situation to undo the damage that has been done. Okay, guys, so that's where I'm going to leave this one. Whatever part of it resonated with you, either the divine feminine portion of this reading or divine masculine or the whole thing, I do hope that it helped you out and gave you the clarity that you needed at this time. And if you're interested in your own personal private reading, all of that information is down below in the description box, guys, and I will see you next time. Take care.